Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Mel Owens, the man who was supposed to save the Golden Bachelor franchise, is now doing something no one ever expected. He's begging fans to give his season a chance. After months of controversy, low ratings, and a mountain of criticism, the former NFL player is breaking his silence and making one last plea to Bachelor Nation. So what went wrong? How did a handsome, successful, charismatic former athlete end up being the face of one of the most controversial Golden Bachelor seasons yet? Let's dive into it, because this story has everything: romance, regret, redemption, and a whole lot of drama. When The Golden Bachelor premiered back in 2023, it was a huge hit. Fans fell in love with Jerry Turner, the charming widower who brought heart and hope back to a franchise that was starting to feel a little stale. His story was emotional, sweet, and unexpectedly real. The show gave fans the kind of mature, romantic storytelling they'd been craving. It felt authentic, and for a moment, the Bachelor franchise was golden again. But as we all know, fairy tales don't always have perfect endings. Jerry's whirlwind romance with Teresa Nist ended in a very public divorce just 3 months after their televised wedding. Millions tuned in to see them say "I do," only to watch their love story unravel before the honeymoon was even over. So when ABC announced The Golden Bachelor would be returning for Season 2, fans were skeptical but curious. They wanted to see if lightning could strike twice. Enter Mel Owens, a former NFL linebacker turned lawyer, tall, confident, successful, and divorced after nearly 20 years of marriage. On paper, he was perfect. He looked like the man who could charm America all over again. But then came the moment that changed everything. In one of his first interviews after being cast, Mel made a few comments that instantly rubbed fans the wrong way. He said, quite openly, that he only wanted to date women between the ages of 45 and 60, and that he would send home anyone older than that. Now, remember, The Golden Bachelor was created to celebrate love later in life. It's about people in their 60s and 70s finding connection again. So when Mel basically said he wasn't interested in women over 60, fans were furious. Social media exploded. People accused him of being ageist, shallow, and completely missing the point of the show. Hashtags calling for a boycott started trending, and before the first episode even aired, Mel Owens' reputation was in shambles. By the time the premiere aired, it was clear the backlash had worked. Ratings dropped 65% compared to the first season, an absolutely brutal number for ABC. Jerry Turner's premiere had drawn in millions, but Mel's debut barely managed to scrape together 2.5 million viewers. Fans were serious when they said they wouldn't watch. Mel tried to clarify things in interviews afterward. He told Glamour magazine that his comments came from a misunderstanding. He simply wasn't familiar with the show and didn't know what the typical age range for contestants was. He explained, "I wasn't watching it. I thought the range was 45 to 60. That's my age range." In other words, he didn't mean to offend anyone. It was a rookie mistake. But the damage was already done. Fans felt insulted, and once people make up their minds in Bachelor Nation, it's hard to change them. Still, Mel didn't quit. Production continued, and 23 women arrived in Los Angeles ready to find love. Interestingly, none of them were even close to 45. The women ranged from 58 to 77 years old, and they weren't about to let Mel's earlier comments intimidate them. From the very first night, the ladies brought the fire. Confident, witty, and unafraid to speak their minds. 10 of them were sent home right away, but those who stayed weren't just there to compete. They were there to have fun, laugh, and show the world that life doesn't stop being exciting after 50. And now, after weeks of silence, Mel Owens is finally speaking up. And surprisingly, he's full of praise for the very women who stole the show. In an interview with Us Weekly, he said the contestants were the heart of the season, describing them as feisty and smart. He admitted that they carried the entire show and made it worth watching.
You could almost sense a little humility in his tone, as if he realized that the Golden Bachelor isn't just about him finding love, but about celebrating women who have lived, loved, and are still brave enough to do it again. Mel told fans there's a lot of good things to look forward to this season. He urged people who swore they wouldn't watch to reconsider, because the women, their stories, their humor, their energy are what make the show special. Maybe that's the redemption arc he needed. Because if there's one thing Bachelor Nation loves as much as a love story, it's a comeback story. The truth is, Mel's season might not have started strong, but there's potential for it to end with a twist. Maybe his journey becomes about learning, growing, and understanding what real connection looks like beyond appearances or age brackets. Maybe the women he once underestimated end up teaching him and the audience a powerful lesson about maturity, vulnerability, and the beauty of love later in life. And let's face it, we've seen this before. Bachelor Nation thrives on messy beginnings that somehow lead to heartwarming endings. Remember when everyone doubted Jerry? He still made millions cry with his story. Maybe Mel will surprise us too. One thing's for sure. The women this season are not background characters. They are strong, bold, hilarious, and ready to make their mark. Even Mel admitted they carry the show, which might be the most honest thing he's said so far. So maybe, just maybe, it's time for fans to give the Golden Bachelor another shot. Not for Mel Owens, but for the women who are out there proving that love, laughter, and a little chaos don't have an age limit. Mel might have fumbled his first impression, but who hasn't? Love stories, even golden ones, are full of second chances, and this season just might be his. What do you think? Has Mel earned your forgiveness, or is it too late for him to win back Bachelor Nation's heart? Either way, one thing's certain. The drama, the romance, and the golden glow are far from over. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.